Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over how to get citations from your data when analyzing it using Google's Gemini. So there's a few different ways to load your data into into Gemini, including from Google Drive. And first, let's look at the limitation. So if you, like me, have a lot of data, including text data, like my 300 pages small wins document, it's going to be a challenge. So here I'll prompt it with something like, what was I doing 1 year ago? And it's going to analyze my giant 300 page small wins document to try to figure that out. And what you'll notice is that it's going to provide all of these entries, but the citations are just going to reference the document. Now, that's pretty useless if you have a huge data set, because what are you going to do to validate that? Am I going to read these 300 pages for every single entry? No, that's totally not going to work. So there's an alternative way to do this that I'm going to show you, which is using not just Gemini, but in combination with a separate tool called NotebookLM, which is part of the Google suite you should be using. Okay, so go to notebooklm.google.com. If you have Google Workspace, you already have it. You can create new, and now you can add files in from your Google Drive. And so I just added that small wins file into the Notebook LM. So right now it is indexing it. It's moving that giant text data entry into this structured folder, which is for AI processing. So once it's done, I've got this small wins notebook, which has loaded into it this giant 300-page file, and it'll come with this chat where I can ask directly here about the data, and it's doing something fundamentally different than when you just ask Gemini about your Google Drive folders, which is that it's using retrieval augmented generation. So you can talk to it in this chat, which is great, but it doesn't have all the same functionalities as Gemini. But if we go back over here to this Gemini, we create a new chat, and now instead of adding from Drive, I go to More Uploads, Notebooks, and then I select my Small Wins notebook, and then I go back and I run the exact same prompt that I did for the first one. So if I give it the same prompt, but I also ask it to provide citations while giving it the Notebook LM as the source, it still gives me a summary of what I was doing, but it does something different. So look at this. Instead of just giving me, a reference that says, here, I use this 300-page small wins document as the reference, here, it's showing the exact quote. Okay? And what that means is you're not just getting a reference, you are getting a citation. And that's critical if you're dealing with bioprocessing data or anything that's actually sensitive, because you can't just blindly trust and say, like, oh, it's somewhere in that document. You need to prove exactly where it is. So this method is how you do that. Okay, now just one more thing that I want to share in this video. This is for people who are dealing with intellectual property, is you should not be doing this with ChatGPT or any consumer-grade language model tools. The reason for that is there's a conflict of interest where these language model providers need data to stay competitive. And when you are logged in as a consumer, you are a user, you are not a customer. And that's bad because you need to protect your intellectual property. you should be paying for an enterprise account. Personally, I'm using Google's Gemini or like Google Workspace. And here you can see, you can test if you're using Workspace or not at the bottom of your chat. Look for this line here that says your company name chats aren't used to improve our models. Gemini is AI and can make mistakes. And then you'll have a link to the privacy policy. This is how you check if your data is safe.